All right, let's dive into the second track, which is the title track, Feeling Nothing. This song, similar to the last one, was developed based on that hook in the beginning. And I actually use Logic Pro's Mellotron here. So I use the flutes preset. I don't think I really changed it too much, but I did add, of course, the Phase Mistress. So my favorite plugin, followed by my favorite preset here, the 3x17 Fastoid. It just sounds so good. All right, so you can hear that phaser sound. Let's play it without the phaser so you get an idea of what that is doing. Oh, there's also a tremolo on it. So this is without those two. Still pretty cool, but this just adds some depth and some interest. And then I also have this vinyl plugin, which for a while was a free one. I'm not sure if Isotope still offers it for free. I have that. That's what you're hearing crackle in the background. I have that just in the beginning, and then I'm using automation here to bypass it. As you can see, I turn the bypass on right after that, so you're not getting that that crackle the whole song. But also, what's really cool is if you hear, I have a spin down, so you'll see that right here, a spin down from the vinyl the vinyl effect, and that gives it like that, like you're pressing stop on the record player. So listen to it. Really cool. Then more Mellotron here. I also have some synths going on at that time. Oh, one synth. That's right. I muted this one. So now you can get this. This is like a comping melody. All right, so you get the idea there. I also have this radio effect going on. This is in the beginning. Just a sample. Thought it felt right there. As far as the drums go, and I wanted it really dead, like a real dead drum sound. Not a lot of reverb going on there. You can see I have a little touch of room reverb there. And I'm also using this really cool sample I found for a drum fill, which is like a funk drum fill. So it sounds like this. And that one's just crushed. You can actually hear the spring reverb on that one. I believe that's spring. Yeah. So that has a really nice spring reverb on it when you put that together. Throw in some tambourine. And then the bass guitar. This one, the bass is more of a sub bass sounding, but I still wanted that picking action, so you'll hear it. So I'm doing multiple compressions here. I got the bass amp, my IR, and then the decapitator. Just gives it some more body. And that's how I get the bass sound. All right, the acoustic guitar, just like in So Familiar, I stacked the acoustic. And this one, looks like I went 50 here. I probably should have had that hard panned, but you get this really full sound. I believe I was in drop D. Not 100%, I don't remember. Definitely was not in drop D. So again, I'm just kind of comping there. I'm playing the same thing twice and then just panning them. It gives it some spatial, it makes it seem really wide. If you just double the track, it doesn't work the same. A lot of times what you'll have then is some phasing issues. You'll also hear some grit there too. So I'm using decapitator on the bus. So here's without decapitator. It's brighter, a little more digital sounding, and then with decapitator, just sounds, it sounds nicer in this mix. Maybe without Decapitator might sound nicer to your ears, but in the mix, it just fits better. And in the song, it does. So now you get this. Add in the bass. Mellotron. Synth. And then I have this acoustic guitar that's just centered. This one, let me see, there is some different processing on it. I kind of cut it a little bit if you look at the EQ. Yeah, definitely use like a telephone preset here to cut it and give it that radio-y sound. So I did that because I wanted the vocals to be the main focus here, and I really wanted the vocals to stand out. So the vocals are right here.
Oh, it's dangling by some floss. It ain't much. It's all that I got. So keep.
All right, and then I bring in some of those lo-fi drums right there, and it's got Phase Mistress on it. This one I'm not using the 3x17, but I'm using the classic 3-stage. Sounds awesome. It's panning left and right. Let's bring it back in. Okay, if I unsolo that, you...
Secure by slip, now nothing feels attainable. Come by my thoughts,
bring back in the regulars.
Unavailable. With each thing I read, a fallacy is lifted. What the fuck does that mean?
So you get the idea there. Brings the regular drums back in, just sounds a little bit bigger. And then I get to this first chorus here. This first chorus is kind of stripped down, like a down chorus first, something that I don't normally do, but I thought it would be really cool in this spot. And of course, it has phaser vocals. It has a phaser guitar in it, and a bass line, as well as some UFOs. So this is some from DM Con. It's real awesome stuff. He's got some samples in there that I purchased, and it gives it this really... I was going for something super spacey here. And let's see. Okay, if we start with let's just start with the phaser guitar and the phaser vocals.
Though I'm feeling down, but I'll be okay.
Yeah, just real nice space, real wide, real spacey. Same with the vocals. Of course, there's also some delay on there. I got some room reverb, some vocal trail delay, some ping pong delay, and some plate reverb to really make this huge. Pretty much all of those are Sound Toys too, except Valhalla. That's my room reverb of choice.
No, I'm feeling down, but I'll be okay.
Let's add in the UFOs. Listen to those repeats.
No, I'm feeling down, but I'll be okay. My emotions floating around, but not today. I am.
Okay, and at this spot, I wanted the vocals, the main vocals, to come back in, and I wanted them to be extremely dry. So I really cut a lot of the... Oh, there it is. A lot of the extra effects and gave it this radio sound.
I'm feeling nothing. I'm feeling nothing. I'm feeling nothing.
All right. So when that all comes back in, that hook, we have the Mellotron again, doing the same thing. With the synth sound. But the thing I add to this is this really, really dry electric guitar. So I'm using just another standard amp, no cabinet because I'm using an IR. So I actually have the Fender Blues amp, so I was kind of messing around with the tweed sound there, and I really liked it. So I used that with an IR. But then I'm also, let's see, it's this first one. Yeah, I'm using that phone again, taking out all of the low information and a lot of the bright highs, and that gives me this really cool direct in sound. So you got a lot going on there, some comping, the ba-ba-dum, 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 ba-ba-da-dum. And then you have the Mellotron going, holding those notes out. You have the acoustic guitars panned left and right, and then you have that clean electric guitar going down the center. And there's also some vocals going on at that time.
I'm feeling nothing.
And this is what I was looking for. So with that electric guitar, you also have these phaser vocals. So it just really brings home that melody, and it harmonizes. In the second verse, we have that the center guitar goes away, and we actually just go left and right on this. But we also have this this electric guitar going on. And this one actually has the filter freak on it, and it's got an envelope filter. So add those in, you got this. Little better than Ezra vibe there. Yeah, I really like that sound. And with the main vocals in there, there's not a lot going on at this point, and that's always been a focus of this song during the verses. So
it still occupies a space where it once was, but its content's been erased.
Yeah, and this time though, when we get to that chorus, this is no longer a down chorus. So let's solo out all of the different parts here for the vocal stack for the chorus.
No, I'm feeling down, but I'll be okay.
All right, so it's got some highs there, some harmonies. So let's solo those out and embarrass myself again. So we've got some thirds and some highs. So let's see, we got the thirds at 30, so that's 10 o'clock, and then 40 on the other side. So when we put those, it's all about balance. I could balance that a little bit better, but that won't be noticeable to the ears. But I go from the idea that when we're panning something left, there should complement it by putting something on the right most of the time. Of course, there are times where you want that, only one thing going on to highlight. But in this case, I want to balance it.
I know I'm feeling down, I'll be okay.
Let's go with just those highs.
My emotions floating around, but not today.
So as I mentioned in the last one, you can get away with over pitch correcting your harmonies to get them to sound nice and tight with the main vocals and not sacrifice much. In the mix, you can't hear that. I try not to overcorrect my main vocals. I try to do very little correction on my main vocals, but on the doubling tracks, sometimes I'll overcorrect a little bit, and same with the harmonies. So here are the doubles. I don't double the whole song, but a lot of times when I want to focus on a line, really bring it out, or the chorus. So here's the double.
With each day that pass, mortality is tested. Hope my skull don't collapse. I know I'm feeling down.
I could have removed some of that noise. Oh well, it adds to the ambience, right? You can hear I actually sing it a little bit different too. I'm doing the voice, almost vocal fry from last time, but not quite as bad. But I put that on the mains.
Each day that pass, mortality is tested. Hope my skull don't collapse. Leave these thoughts unprotected. I know I'm feeling down, but I'll be okay.
Okay, so you hear some automation there with the different vocal sends I got going on. That's important. I don't want it on the whole time, but certain words, certain phrases, it goes through. So then it goes back into that part where everything is with the electric guitar part. But this was the song I really wanted to experiment with some different strings. So I actually found this string sample. Let's see if I can find it. All right, so let me go into my sounds here and search strings. Hey, there it is. All right, so I actually found this sample right here. But it was in the wrong key, so I brought it into Logic, spliced it up, and I turned it into this. Yeah, so you get some Jamiroquai vibes with that, some Beck. I was able to just splice it up. I didn't put it into a sampler or anything. I kind of just put it on Logic, used transpose. I just cut it. I used the fade out with the slow down, and I just pieced it together to what I thought was what sounded cool. So then I comped it with some acoustic guitar and some bass. All right. The whole time that's going on, I used artificial intelligence to come up with some interesting like newscasts. Now, I have a very fine line with artificial intelligence and the arts. I really do. I try not to use any form of AI outside of some of the plugins I use have some AI assistants like Ozone. I use that to help me, to guide me on my EQ curves. But I try not to use any kind of like AI musician inside my art here. However, I needed something here. I envisioned this spot to be, the song Feeling Nothing is about being overwhelmed with the world around you. And sometimes it's nice to just turn everything off and feel nothing because the alternative's much worse. And I wanted some like radio broadcasts and newscasts of the crap going around in the world. But obviously there are a lot of copyright laws with that. And I don't want this song to be political in any way. So I wanted to stay away from certain newscasts or newscasts in general because people have a lot of strong emotions towards them. And I wanted it to be kind of generic. So I used an AI tool, and I don't even remember which one it was, but I had some phrases that I wanted it to say. I typed them up, had a couple iterations of them, but I put a crap ton of effects on them to really make it sound like it was coming from an old 1960s radio. So this is what these sound like. And I panned them left and right, not all the way, but just a little bit so that they're going back and forth while this is going on. I'm going to keep the strings on, so it gives you the idea.
Another bomb has been dropped right outside the city.
Stock market is continuing
going to dip and many are wondering if the recession
Grocery
is
prices
inevitable.
continue to rise, and now families are left to make
As the
difficult
floods
decisions.
continue down south, causing thousands of people to evacuate.
Another shooting occurred downtown late last
Gas
night.
is now over $4 a gallon in some areas.
What we are doing is not sustainable.
All right, so that end is like a sample of a guy screaming. Before that, it's supposed to show, or it's supposed to sound like you're throwing the radio out the window. That's what that sound is. So,
Is not sustainable.
and then of course we have that. There is a key change there too. I should have said that from the start. That's done by design. Let's listen to the transition here. I love that. Add some interest to it, and then how we bring it all back. Very cool. And when it comes back in, we have this really cool synth lead. Let me see. Is it this one? No, it's the one above it. All right, so that's just the retro synth. That is the super lead. I definitely tweaked it a little bit, but I love that sound. And when you put that together with the Mellotron and the other synth, you get this really full sound. And then I start bringing in the other elements. I bring them back. So we have the do, the do. That was way off key. So you have that coming back in, and then I also have these feeling nothing that'll come in with a lot of reverb and delay.
I'm feeling nothing.
So you hear those in the background. I love bringing that out again because they were in the very beginning as well. I love when a song begins and ends similarly. Like it feels like closure, you know? And then at the very end, I have it holding out this note and it does these phaser, like the melody again. Now that song, the end of it is held out on purpose for a long time because I actually used Logic's slow down there, and that's where it goes right into steady pace. So it's kind of like a record, like a slow stop. I wanted to do that there as well. So that is Feeling Nothing. This video is probably really, really long. I'm afraid to look. So thanks for sticking around if you did. I appreciate it. I hope you learned something, and I hope maybe one of these sounds or something you saw in here inspires you to build your next song.